Hi, hello, it is me, Lisa Concepcion, certified professional life coach, self-love coach, dating and relationship expert, and founder of lovequestcoaching.com, where you can go and get your free love life assessment. And these days in my life, the focus is on codependency, breakups, and self-love. And the reason for that is I ended a 4.5-year relationship about 8 weeks ago. And so I have made it a point to just really take care of me, right? Take care of Lisa. It was a very tough decision, necessary decision, but it was a very tough decision. And when we make these kinds of decisions, it's a little bit dark. I'm walking in nature because that's what I want to talk about. When we make these tough decisions, sometimes it comes with some beliefs. It comes with, things that we say to ourselves, and these beliefs that they form blocks, like energetic blocks. And it's normal, right? When you go through a breakup, even if you're like the one breaking up versus the one being broken up with, like either way, you're going to have some a lot of processing to do, because you give yourself to this person, right? You give your energy, your attention, your time to them, and then you decide that the relationship can only go this far, but something inside you is saying that you want more, right? So what do? Right? Do you stay with the person and you're like, okay, but I know that this person can't give me more. They don't want to. They're flat out saying, like, don't want this, don't want what you want, don't want to get married, don't want to. Look, if they wanted it, it would happen. So that means that you keep the dream, but you dump the person. And it's hard. But if you are feeling called to wanting what you want, you have to honor that. You can't stay stuck and stagnant in a relationship because it's convenient and because you know the person and it's comfortable. And look, it's a tough ass decision, because my now ex-boyfriend and I, we got along awesome. We had a legit good friendship, and I missed that part of it terribly. But there were certain things. I'm going to share some of these things with you, because maybe you're in a relationship and it's not moving you forward and it's not helping you advance. So I wanted to share the decision. Bug flies in my eye. I wanted to share what were the things, right? The things that I noticed that factored into my decision, because it was not an easy decision by any means. So, number one, values. Gotta have same values. So important to be on the same page about your view of the world. Now, okay, look, you don't have to be identical, right? You don't want to be identical, but because you want to have a different viewpoint on the specific thing. But overall, you can't have somebody who's like pro-life with somebody who's like all about abortion and basically a complete different value system. Like when you're sitting there and you're just like, none of the values are aligned with me. And because we were in this fun-filled relationship, we never really talked about those types of things. We were just all about like hanging out, having fun, bopping around South Beach. I loved it. It was wonderful, wonderful 4.5 years. But I had to grow. I had to keep moving. And that brings me to number two. I didn't feel like the relationship was going anywhere. It wasn't going to grow. And so I had to shake shit up. I moved. I ended up moving 3 hours away from my boyfriend. At the time, he was my boyfriend when I moved. And things weren't right for a while. We were very disconnected. Things just weren't right. I think it was because I started to see that this man has no intention of taking things further. He's super loyal guy, but not committed. And I learned in this relationship, there is a difference between loyalty and commitment. You can be with somebody who's very loyal, super loyal. Doesn't mean they're committed. Loyalty says, I only want to be with you. Commitment says, I only want to be with you forever. And he's not a forever guy, and that's fine. But perhaps when I met him, I wasn't really a forever girl either, because I had just gotten divorced. It was the first relationship after my divorce. And so, to be fair, I wasn't vibing, I want to get married. I wasn't vibing, I want to share life and like merge lives with somebody at all. So I met this wonderful man. He lived 5 blocks away from me. He was all about fun, and I needed that in my life. And with this beautiful man, I was able to completely change my career. And I went from doing public relations to coaching full time. And so now I find myself switching gears in the topics that I'm coaching on. And they're all about walking away from situations that don't serve you anymore. Being self-loving. Looking at your life and understanding what you truly want for yourself. And giving yourself full permission to go for it. And unfortunately, that oftentimes requires us to let certain things go. It's like growth. You know, you feel it. You feel being pulled and called to something else that you're meant to do, that you're meant to be, a version of you that you need to step into. And unfortunately, sometimes, you know, you can't even do it around your parents. You have to like move to another state, or you have to leave a job, leave a career, and take a chance and take a risk on yourself. But when it's calling at you, you can't ignore it, because it just like agonizes. And it's like this thing like, oh, it's like, I want this kind of life. And that means that it exists, right? Because I believe that, you know, God doesn't put anything in our minds and in our hearts that isn't already created for us. That's why we have the vision of it. So when you have a vision for your life, like, you need to pursue that vision because it exists. And the reason why a lot of people don't pursue that vision is because they don't believe in it. They don't believe they could achieve it. They don't have faith in it. And one of the things that, number 3 on my list of reasons, is that in 2020, I really, really stepped deeper into my faith. And I think it was just such an uncertain time that when uncertain, at least for me, I feel totally peaceful when I tune into my faith. And that could mean anything from, like in my case, strengthening my relationship with God and being very contemplative, reading scripture, reading books about, you know, interpretation of scripture, how it can benefit your life. So I started to do a lot of that, and started to listen to a lot of stuff on YouTube, just uplifting, really, you know, nice, just felt good. And I found that I really started to crave a relationship that was God-focused, God-centered, meaning the man has deep faith, and then I'd have deep faith, and then together we would create a faith-based relationship, meaning we are in relationship with God first, each other second, and then based on that relationship, we give to the world. So that's what I'm interested in. So that's like power couple level shit, where abundance, flow, prosperity, you know, everybody's clear and purposed on what it is that they're doing with their life. Which leads me now to number 4, which is I am an incredibly driven person. I have this business and I am creating an empire with it. Regardless of who's by my side, it's happening. So it's very important for me to be around people who are on that same wavelength. Perhaps the next person that I'm calling in to my life, brilliant businessman, sold businesses, created businesses, has a business, whatever it is, this person can absolutely mentor me, give me ideas. I found that in my relationships in the past, I am always the fixer and the helper and the motivator. I'm like a one-woman Tony Robbins for every man I'm with, and I'm done with it. I want it to be a team. I want to be able to motivate a man, inspire a man, care for a man, And I want the same in return. I want to be mentored. I want a guy to sit me down and say, hey, Lise, I have an idea for your business. Check this out. And I have a guy that we can connect to help you execute on this next thing that you need to be doing for your business. And that like lights me up, right? You know, so it's phenomenal. It's like, oh my God, alpha dude, you know, this guy is an ass kicker. He like makes shit happen. Like, look at his business. His business is on Google and he has a guy that can help him with Google and he's going to do this thing for me. And holy shit, like it's all about growth, right? It's all about let's execute, let's get shit going. And this deal of being with people who are not purposed, right? They haven't figured it out. They're already, you know, at a level in their life where they don't know what they're doing for themselves professionally. They're just hopping along, job to job to job, paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. That's not purpose. That's not living in your purpose. That's not saying, you know, I was born with a gift from God and I'm meant to do this thing this way and I'm doing it. So I know that not everybody lives like that, but I do. And so therefore I want my partner to have that as well. And so the reason why I am able to do this video and speak openly and honestly is because I know that that man exists. I wouldn't think him up if he didn't exist. And so the big thing to do was to cut loose anything that was holding me back, anything that would tie me back from moving forward in my business, moving forward in my life, moving forward with, you know, every aspect of my life, romantically, whatever. I'm very detached finally from any outcome of meeting somebody and whatever. It's like, to me, it's ordained by God. And I just hand that over and I say, listen, when I'm ready, I know it will be the right time, the right moment, the right person. And it'll just be the same as when it was when I met my ex-boyfriend. I knew the second I touched that man's hand that I had to know him. I didn't know for what purpose. I didn't know for what reason and for how long, but I had full certainty that I had to get to know him. And interestingly, in that 4.5 years together, he was the man that helped me energetically get into a place where I could leave one profession, start a whole other business, and go full-time into that business. So I'm forever grateful, and I'll always remember him as being the person in that critical part of my life, that time of my life. So it's just really difficult because when you have so much affinity for somebody, you care for somebody, you tell them all your stuff, and you have like enmeshment, you have, you know about their life, they know about your life, and you're used to talking to each other every day, and it's just really difficult to then all of a sudden just end it cold with no communication, nothing. So allow yourself, this is why I'm walking in this, I'll give you a little, it's so pretty, but I come here and I walk in nature and it's really quiet and it helps me just to clear my head and get myself centered and connected. And, walking in nature, and I just start to think of like all the things I appreciated about this relationship and all the things that I appreciated about every relationship that I was in my whole life. And I look at that as preparation for what's coming next, right? So when you appreciate, you prepare for the blessings that are to come. So if you're going through something, whether it's leaving a job or trying to find a new one, or leaving a relationship, or whatever, something that you're leaving and you're looking to start something else, try to put yourself in a state of gratitude for the things that happened before, for the things that you had in the past. And the appreciation of those things will help you elevate your energy so that you're not holding on to just dark, awful, icky energy. And then you can open yourself up to all the blessings that are coming. So one of the blessings, so cool, that came is in the form of business associates. So I've been in contact randomly too, like people randomly finding me who want to help me create the systems that I need to create to take my business to the next level. And I've been wanting to do this. And so I had dinner with this guy, super smart guy, and we're meeting this week, and it's going to be like in the conference room with laptops, like full on working. And it's going to be amazing because it's like, finally, like I am doing this and it is happening, period. And I made a decision. I am taking my business to a level where I'm going to help a shit ton of people and I'm going to change the world in my own little way. And so when you have a fire that bright, that, you know, a passion that clear, it is going to happen. It's possible. So don't give up. And you're going to have to adjust and get uncomfortable, leave places, move places, fire people, hire people, let go of people in relationships, you know, friendships that don't serve you anymore. All this stuff is part of growth, you know, and you can't fault yourself for wanting more in your life, but you will fault yourself at the end of your life if you look back and you didn't take the chances to go for the things that you really wanted to go for. And that's the biggest regret, and nobody should live with that. So I hope this message finds you well on a Sunday, or on any day if you're catching it as a replay. If you're catching it as a replay or on YouTube, I have like 700 videos on YouTube. It's insane what goes on over there. But yeah, I'm Lisa the Love Coach. And right now I'm in a season of self-love, right? So if you're finding yourself in relationships that don't serve you and you're kind of stuck and feeling stuck in any aspect of your life, this is the time to get unstuck, and I can help you. I'm doing it myself. It's not easy, but I can share with you the steps to take so that you are living an authentic life and you are living a life that is going to propel you forward and welcoming of what's uncomfortable so that you can get to the best stuff that you deserve. Have a great day. And if this resonates with you, you can find me at lovequestcoaching.com. There is a free love life assessment there that you can fill out, and or you can just get in touch with me through email over there. If you're seeing me on Facebook Live, you can certainly PM me. I welcome the PMs all the time. I'm offering actually a full 1 hour coaching session. So it's great. It's done via video, and you'll feel awesome after it. So you'll get a lot of clarity. So feel free to hit me up. Let's get together. I look forward to connecting with you. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your evening, and we'll catch up again. Thanks.